So let's make the locking mechanism, also known as the lift lock system. So I've started a part design here, named it lift lock system, and inserted an access system. And what I need you to do is to open the last two clasp blade that we made. So we had clasp blade 1, clasp blade 2. I'm gonna tile this vertically. So there's a couple of sketches that we need to publish because we need everything to align correctly when we are locking this clasp. We had published sketch 3. We're also going to publish the last sketch that we made, and that is the one that created this hook pad. So you're going to select it and then go to Tools, Publication, select Yes and OK. And then go to Clasp Blade 2. And you're going to select the first sketch that you made, that sketch. Okay, go to Tools, Publication, Yes and OK. So you have 3 published sketch in total. I'm going to hide this. Then you're going to copy all 3 and insert them in our new part design. So I'm going to copy it and then paste it here using link. So paste special as a result with link. Select OK. Then go to clasp blade 1 and copy the 2 sketches. And paste them there. Then you can show them now. You can go to Tools, Show All Sketches. And if you select the YZ plane and sketch, you can see we have an outline of how everything looks when it is closed up. It's like a side view of the clasp. So now we need to make the top locking mechanism here. There's a cover here, and there is also last cover at the very front. So we're going to start with the locking mechanism. We need to project a few sketches here, and I need you to know that I don't want you to highlight the sketch like this, because when you select a sketch like this and project it, when you go to select individual lines or curves, it just selects the whole thing. So the best way to do it is just select everything individually. So we're not going to project everything. We just need this outline like so. So project element as construction elements and select OK. Then now you can hide this sketch 1. I think it was the second one. Then for the second sketch, I'm going to project this circle because I need to use its center. We're going to hide sketch 3. We are not using it for this particular sketch, but we're going to use it for the next. All right, now that we have this, so the locking system is just sitting right along this curve. So I'm going to start by selecting this line and this curve and make those standard elements so I can reuse them. And then you're going to select circle and create a large circle which is above this sketch. Then double click on constraint. Between this circle and this curve, the distance is going to be 4 millimeters. And we're also going to make both of these curves concentric. Repeat the same, but this time make sure the circle is below the curve you made. Double click on constraint, the distance between this one and the first one. is 1 millimeter, and both of them are also concentric. All right, now we're going to create some axes. So double click on axis. The first one is going to be about this point. We can create another one along this vertical axis. And remember that circle that we projected, we're going to use it to create another axis aligning at the middle. Like so. Then lastly, another one about this point. Now let's define the dimensions. Double click on constraint. The distance between this point, which is along the center of this curve, and this first axis that we created is going to be 35, and that is the total length of the clasp cover. And then the distance between these two is going to be 7. And this is where the lift lock system ends. And this is just along this vertical axis. Then you're going to select quick trim. Trim off this second one and the first one. So we are only left with a segment of the curves. Then exit the trimming option. Then now we can create, oh, I see this one is moving, so we need to align it with the center of this curve. Once I put it there, I can fix it. You can select it, go to constraint and fix it so it doesn't move. All right, so far so good. Now let's select profile and create the profile for, so it's going to end at this point. So you're going to start by dropping a line. Vertical line like so. And it's going to join to that profile that you projected. Then select profile once again. And from this midpoint, you're going to drop a vertical line, which aligns with the horizontal line here. So like so. Then bring it to about this point. Then up to this axis and touching that curve. Then exit profile. Then lastly, you're going to create a line from the top curve, a diagonal line, to the bottom curve, and I don't need to create any accidental constraints. So that's the profile. You can select quick trim and trim off this arc. We can trim the elements at the very end here. Exit. I'm going to undo the last move because I need it to end at this point. So this point and this line needs to be coincident. And that way I can trim off this top part. All right, that's good. You can try to move this line until you see this tangency option here. So that means they are aligning, but that's optional. You can estimate up to where it ends. It doesn't need to be exactly at this point, but somewhere close by. This line actually, it's at the wrong point. You're going to drag it. It's before this axis, not the last axis, before this second axis. And we're going to create some corners. So select corner. Between these two, we're going to make this radius 2. Another corner between the top and the bottom, and the diagonal line, I mean. And this is going to be 2.5. So it's almost touching this vertical axis here. Then at the very end, we're going to make 2 corners, which are 0.3 in radius. So select those 2. This is 0.3 at the bottom. This is also 0.3. Here we're going to make a corner which is about 5 in radius. And at this corner, we need another curve corner, I mean. This is 0.5. And another 2 here, 0.3, 0.3. So this is 0.3. Bottom one, same thing. All right, so this is the profile, the outer profile. So as you can see here, the line came just bypass this circle a little bit, and then you can go upwards. This thickness, you can just estimate it, not very important as well. And lastly, we're going to create a circle because we're going to have a hole here going all the way through. So along this axis, you're going to create a circle. It's going to be 0.5 in radius. So diameter is 1. And then the distance between the center of that circle and this top line is going to be 2.5. Or if you select this bottom line, it's going to be 0.5 because this distance is 3. So I'm going to select the top one, and that distance is going to be 2.5. All right, so far so good. So if you've done that, our profile is now complete for the outer body. So you can exit the workbench, and you need to inspect your geometry for any double point. If you ever see any double points where they are attaching, you know there's a problem. But if they're just single points, then you're good to go. So you're going to select that sketch and create a pad which is 20 millimeters, but because you're using mirrored extent, it's going to be 10 millimeters each side. Preview, select OK. I'm going to use the same color I use all the time, the gray color. And then we are going once again to sketch the ZY plane. And I'm going to show the third sketch that we had. Matter of fact, I'm going to show all the sketches. So I need to create the profile that's going to hook here. And you can start by selecting this side of the profile and projecting it. as standard element. Same thing with this line, this edge, and this corner. We're going to project them as standard elements. Then join the top with a line. Select line. I need to make sure I'm selecting, connecting the two profiles. And then for the bottom profile, now right here, we're going to create a circle. So on this space, I'm going to create a circle which is touching this arc about that point. So we have tangency there. And then I'm going to select 3-point arc starting with 2 limits, and then select this point and this arc, draw out an arc. Select on constraint. We need to give this a diameter and this one a radius. And then between this and this, we're going to have tangency. That's on the wrong side. Let me undo that. I need tangency on this side. So first, maybe I can trim off this arc so that it's only touching this point. And then we can try the tangency once again between this and this. Tangency. Perfect. So this radius is going to be 2. And then this one is going to be 0.6. So we have that, and then you're going to trim off this excess curve. So you can see this profile is going to fit right into this slot, and it also doesn't go below this bottom profile. Because remember, along this curve, that's where our profile is ending, the pocket. All right, that looks good. So we're going to exit. And you're going to create a pad. So let's hide the sketches first. And leave the only sketch that we have created. So we're going to create a pad which is 2 millimeters, so 1 millimeter mirrored extent. And this is the sketch that we are using. Preview, select OK. And we're going to insert some edge fillets. So just select these edges. Like so. And on this side as well. I've released them. I'm going to select them once again. Then insert edge fillet. We're going to select corridor length so that material removed is even from each section along these edges. And we're going to have 0.2. Preview and select OK. All right, now we need to eat away a section here where we're going to attach the hinging. the hinging part. So you're going to select ZY plane once again, sketch, select a rectangle, and along this horizontal axis you're going to drop a rectangle going all the way to the very end, and then the distance, select constraint, the distance between this line and this at the edge is going to be 1.5. Then exit and create a pocket. It's going to be 9 millimeters on each side, so we are only leaving 1 millimeter on each side, and select OK. So now we have that pocket. Then we're going to assign a material. Same as others, it's going to be steel. And actually we need to create a profile up here. Yeah, just remembered. Select XY plane and sketch. And you're going to select profile. Then right about this point where this curve ends, inside the profile, you're going to select your first point. Then it's diagonal going outwards. Undo that. I need to bring it up. So profile, starting about this point, it's going up, and then we have a horizontal line up to about this point, and then it goes down into the profile and connect back. Then the distance between this horizontal line and this edge, it's going to be 0.1. Now we can add corners, starting with this corner here. So about that point, so you're going to, it needs to look as if it's projecting from here going upwards. So this one we can bring it close to the surface, like so. And at this point it's also going to blend in. Like that. So you can adjust it, bring this closer to the surface so it blends in with this other curve. Then exit. So select pad, mirrored extent, each side is 3, and this is the sketch we are referring to. Preview and select OK. So we have that raised portion that blends in as you go down, and it's the same case on this side. Then you're going to select that sketch that you just made and you're going to publish it because we're going to reuse it. Select OK, as well as this first sketch, that sketch. Publish it. Sorry, it's sketch 4. Publish it and select OK. So these two, once again, we are going to reuse them. So save your work. Select OK. This is referring to the published sketches that we imported here, and select OK. We can hide this sketch now. And our part is done. We can't assemble this until we make the top cover because they are usually attached together. And then there's another part where you're going to attach the top clasp. So let's go make the top cover in the next episode, and I will see you there.